When it comes to branding, it's very important to look at it in the broader context of the admissions board and how they evaluate candidates. The first thing that admissions boards look at is the academic ability and intellectual aptitude of the applicants. They also look at the leadership track record. And then finally, they look at the uniqueness. What do you bring to the table? What are the experiences you've had? And how have those experiences shaped you? So the three core components are vital in making an admissions decision. Applicants, for the most part, have their undergraduate experience behind them. And the academic story when it comes to the GMAT is going to be what it's going to be. The leadership component, if they're going to be applying a very short amount of time, that story has already been told as well. Where applicants have the greatest control and flexibility in influencing the admissions outcome is really how they are able to communicate what's unique about them. I think it's so important to understand that this uniqueness is really your brand. It's what sets you apart, what makes you you. And that's what admissions boards are looking at. They may not call it personal branding or call it, what is your brand, but they're essentially saying, what is your brand? And so with branding, I think it's so important that applicants understand what a brand is. A brand is really what people know about you or believe that you stand for. Okay. And your brand often encapsulates your values, it's your passion, it's the skills, essentially a track record, and it's your goals. And how are these things all interconnected? And I'm often asked by applicants, I don't really have anything unique or interesting or different about me. And I say, everyone has something interesting and unique and different about them. It's really about spending the time and doing the self-reflection. It's important to do a brand audit. I know it sounds a bit weird. What is a brand audit? It's really taking stock of your life journey on a professional and personal basis. And raising the rocks and looking under the nooks and crannies, peeling the onion and trying to figure out what are the different experiences you've had over the years and what are the themes that are emerging from these experiences. For example, an applicant who goes through a brand audit might identify that they have a tendency to want to bring people together. Like it's in their DNA, there's always, and it's not that they're just party people, but they're incredibly social. And in every environment, in college, at their job, even in their community involvement, in their synagogue, at church, at their mosque, they're always the person who is bringing people together and bringing people from all different backgrounds. So part of that person's brand might be that they're a relationship connector, that is at the heart of who they are. That person might also have another element to them, which might be that they are individuals who, when there is a storm, they are calm and cool as a cucumber. They don't get frazzled, no matter how crazy things get. That's somebody you absolutely want on your team or, in your section, on your study group, actually, but someone who is going to be relaxed and in the eye of a storm can get things done. That person might also have an element to them that speaks to their global mindedness. They may have been born in one country, grew up in another country and speak, 7 languages. And they're always, raising their hands to go to take on an international assignment or to do something that allows them to have a global engagement and interaction. That is someone who has a brand that is what I would call a globally minded applicant. So in these 3 examples I've shared with you, these themes can actually be embodied in one person, or it could be 4 themes, or it could be 2 themes. What's important to note is that I haven't said anything about their job title, okay, or where they went to school, because it's not really about that. Your brand is not your job. It's not simply where you've gone to school and your GPA and things like that. It's really what's in your heart, what motivates you to do what you do. So it's not the job, but what motivated you to take the job, and then how do you do the job that you do that's different from everybody else around you. And so an applicant like that can then pick these three themes of, being globally minded, being very calm when there's crisis, and someone who loves to bring people together. And as they do an audit and reflection of who they are, they're able to identify stories that they hadn't even thought about in a long time, that they're able to say, oh gosh, I remember when I did this when I was in college. I remember when I did this when I was, doing a trek somewhere with my friends. But what's important is that they have the stories to back it up. You can't have a brand without the evidence of it. And so if you have the stories to back it up, those stories are at the core of your essays. So I say all this to say, if you take the time to do a lot of self-reflection, do an audit of your stories, of your life, and identify the reoccurring themes that comes up consistently, and then tell those stories in your essays, you're more than likely to stand apart from your competition.